about artificial intelligence, generative AI, large language models, and how they will impact you today as a student and in a couple of years when you graduate. The job markets and the skills demanded by the employers are evolving so rapidly that we are always behind technology. So to start, just take a look to this picture. And do you see anything special about this picture? Huh? Just so a bunch of people, faces. Huh? But if you look deeper, you will notice two things. First of all, these pictures are for people who are non-existent. So it's all artificial. These pictures were made basically by generative AI. And if you look closer, do you see something else? Anybody see something else at the picture? Similarities. Who says similarities? Very good. Huh? You watch a lot of movies, huh? You watch a lot of. There are similarities with celebrities. Okay, so these are synthetic images that has been generated thanks to GAN, generative adversarial networks. So how do we do this? Basically, it's a deep convolutional neural networks. I don't want to go into the details. So we feed the network with pictures of celebrities, not one or two, millions. And we start feeding some random noise, and we're creating images. And we have a network that have to discriminate whether this image is fake or real. So the images, so the training set is real image, and the input, we start with random noise, and then we try to create an image. Still, the classifier have difficulties to distinguish whether it is real or fake, 50-50. Then it becomes one of those pictures here. All right? This is basically the power of generative AI. Generative in the sense that it will generate something. As you see here, it will generate new images from images of celebrities. Okay? So, let's go back, okay, to the 90s when I was doing my research at Concordia University. I was doing my master's degree. And how do we do research, and how do we write reports, and how do we write pieces? At that time, you have to go to the library, look to the index cards for the title, grab the code, TK511, walk to the shelves, look to your book, make photocopies, and then we have typewriters, and we have some very primitive Unix-based VI editors. So to write, for instance, a paragraph, I have to do bracket P slash, write the paragraph, then slash P. To have a word in italic, I have to do bracket I, write the text, then close the I. It was very painful. And then basically word processors came into play. And that was a big thing, having a word processor. The first leap that happened is with the evolution of the World Wide Web. In other words, I don't have to go to those fancy index cards. You can sit and you can do your Google or Bing search online. So that was a big, big revolution. Having access to thousands and thousands, millions of online documents. The problem was that when you do a query, you get 1 million responses. So you have to go and, and if you are a student, often what do? You pick up the first, the second, and the third, and you write your report, right? So that was very limiting, all right? Then we have seen how AI started infiltrating the text editors. So we have grammar checkers, we have, we have spelling checkers, we have autocomplete even suggestions, and this was a big revolution. There was a lot of resistance at that time. They said, this is bad. Why should we allow the students to check their writing, their spelling? We wanted to test them. But it becomes normal today. Everybody uses spelling checkers and prediction editors, etc. And the next really big leap was the evolutions and the surge of the large language models, LLMs, recently with ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini, and a bunch of others. It was a big surge, big change on the way we as, or you as the students, do research, find information, etc., etc. So today, basically, we have this genie that is coming not from a magic lamp, but it's coming out from your PC or from your smartphone, and whatever you ask, your wish is my command. Right? A big revolution today on this LLMs, and this is going to be the basis of the next generation of search engines. Okay, so you don't have to filter among thousands of entries. So really, the emergence of AI, for us as educators at least, has led us to rethink and question its impact from diverse views, how it will impact business education. Okay, how will it be shape your future job roles? If you are in finance, do you think in finance the role of somebody working in a finance department or accounting or marketing is going to be the same next year and after next year? Definitely not. How to leverage, okay, this technology to make it an opportunity. And technology always comes with opportunities and threats. So very important is what we're going to do about the threats, how to be aware of them, and how to circumvent them. So I will start briefly with general introduction, background. We'll talk about the opportunities that you have today. This is not tomorrow, today already. We'll look at the challenges, the pitfalls, things that you have to be very careful of. Then I will give you some tips, share with you some case studies that we have done here at Esprit, the group, and some final perspective at the end. So, AI, artificial intelligence. I don't want to bore you with definitions, but it's very important to understand the forest before we go into the trees, okay, the context. So AI is a branch of computer science. It started with professors who are originally in mathematics, converted into computer science. So it is basically, it focuses on machines that can perform tasks that require human intelligence. So they do things not like by programming them, if then else do, but they do something that basically us as a human beings we use in terms of reasoning, thinking. So it tries to mimic the human brain. Actually, the first neural networks was based on nodes, neurons, and stems. And it has very astonishing capability. It can learn. It can learn from things, and then if you give them something that they have never seen before, they can take a decision. You can teach them, airplanes. This is military airplanes, and this is commercial airplanes, and you bring them an airplane that they have never been trained on, and they can decide if this is a military or not. They can do reasoning, problem solving, and content generation. And there is a lot of components. When you talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about neural networks that mimic how the brain works. We talk about deep learning, which is more advanced type of neural networks as well. We talk about natural language processing, NLP, which are systems that can comprehend what we write in terms of English, etc., etc. And if you look to the history of AI, AI is not new. AI has been there since 1943 with the first basically model of electronic brain, the neurons. Since 1943, people talk about artificial intelligence. And there has been so many incremental evolutions since then. 1970, in the 1970, the backpropagation was a milestone. Then, I don't want to go to the details, Perhaps in 1996 with IBM, okay? IBM basically created this AI program called Deep Blue. Deep Blue basically was able at that time to beat Kasparov in chess. Why it is important? Because up to 1996, I mean, we talk about AI, but only the scientific community, you know? But the public didn't hear about artificial intelligence. But this event basically have triggered the public interest in AI. Wow, there are machines that can think, they can beat the world chess master. So that was very important. Then 2009, ImageNet was a big project in the sense that it collected millions and millions of images. You know, in artificial intelligence, it needs training data. You cannot train a network on 100 or 1,000. That's not enough, okay? If I want to train, for instance, a neural network to distinguish or to identify the mood of a person, happy, upset, angry, whatever. Some of you do research on this, and I have done. You need millions and millions of cases, and you categorize. ImageNet basically, it's a repository where they have probably millions and millions of images from every category, from animals to objects to people, etc. And that big data basically was a treasure because it allowed us to use them, to use this information to train our network. Okay. Then there is the grant by Ian Goodfellow that I just showed you before from the University of Montreal. And you know, very recently is the ChatGPT and you know the other family of LLMS, which was a major breakthrough. Even us as an institution, we were surprised that suddenly, you know, there is this tool that students can use. It has answer to almost everything. All right. So this is generative. When I talk about generative AI, it's a branch of AI, but it is generative, meaning that it doesn't try to classify things or to identify things or to decide whether this image, basically, of a person, XR, whatever, has a tumor or something. No. Its goal is to generate text, video, or audio in these three formats based on input. The input can be either prompts, like you do with ChatGPT, questions, or it can be a file. You can enter a file or a video, and it will process it to generate something else. Okay? And when I say that, it's not hypothetical any longer. So all these applications, whether for text generation, video generation, image generation, code generation, 3D image generations, they are here today. They are here, and there are products already available. Some of these products are free. Some of them, of course, are commercial, are paid for. And the majority of them, they have two types. There's the free with basic, the hook. They give you something for free, but very limited. And if you want to get the full-fledged capability, you got to pay. One of the biggest issue in Tunisia is, the payment. Enter your MasterCard, credit card information. Okay, good luck. And that's an issue that we will talk about. All right. So, if neural network has been there since the 1950s, why today we are talking more and more and more about AI? Believe me, every day, one thing I do every morning, I open CNN, other newspapers, and there is always AI on the picture. Either it is the good guy, the bad guy, or sometimes the ugly guy. Today on CNN, there is a big story about the ugly generative AI. So why today we talk more and more about generative AI? Why it has increased rapidly? I did my master on artificial intelligence. I wanted to do my PhD on AI. I couldn't. Because I have topics, but I don't have the algorithms. I had a unit machine. I ran it sometimes for a week. Running. just to give me the output. So at that time, technology, was not ready yet. Okay, neither from a software nor from a hardware perspective. Today we have huge computational power because these algorithms, they are hungry. They need a lot of juice. They need a lot of processing, GPUs. At Esprit, we have acquired very recently NVIDIA DGX A100. It's an AI platform for you, any one of you. If you have an idea to be an entrepreneur in AI, you want to train your network, training, if you do it on your own machine, doesn't work. You can go on the cloud and subscribe, costly, but at Esprit, we have this machine that you can use. Okay? 5 petaflops. This is floating point operation in seconds. You know what is beta? No, beta. We have mega, then giga. Mega is 10 to the power 6, giga 10 to the power 9, tera, wow. Beta 10 to the power 15. 10 to the power 15 instruction in 1 second. That's 1 million of a billion instruction in just a blink of the eye. It can do. And this is the type that we do for very large project, AI projects. Okay. So we have the computational power to run our algorithms. The algorithms are getting more and more sophisticated today. We talk about deep convolution neural network, we talk about transformers algorithms to do inferences, etc. And very important is the data. We need data. Okay, before it was very limited. Today, there are huge amount of data available. We talk about the IoT, the Internet of Things, that basically collect and generate a lot of data. You go to social media, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. All these are generating a huge amount of information that we can use. Even generative AI, it can generate synthetic data. You are in finance and you want to train, or in banking, you want to train your network on your customer accounts so that you can learn things. But it's not enough. You can ask him to generate a new fictitious customer account based on the existing customer account, so you can enlarge your training data sets. And as you know, there is a lot of money into this business. Whenever something is up, other people look at it, wow, but then other people said, how can I make money out of this? I can tell you, every year we have at least 10 to 15 graduates from Esprit. When I talk about Esprit, it's the group, School of Engineering, School of Business, who are today entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur in the sense that basically their business is based on generative AI. You don't need to be, a guru in programming or whatever. Most of these, basically, they are tools that you have to understand, but they can use. You don't have really to do a lot of programming. What you have to do is, sniff opportunity, that there is a market demand, and this technology can fulfill this demand in a way that is better compared to the existing solutions. And that is how business is created. How to match an opportunity that is availed by emerging innovation that fulfills a demand. So huge opportunity, a huge investment today from the public, from the private, on artificial intelligence. A lot of startups are being created almost on a daily basis in Tunisia, based on AI. This is where the money is. This is the future, by the way. If time is reversed back to the future, and I was at your age, I would dedicate my life to artificial intelligence. So instead of browsing Facebook and the others for stories about other people, I would just learn about the capabilities. It's a golden mine. It's an opportunity to make money. You need your own business. Think about it. Also, why we talk more about AI, because there has been a lot of bad publicity about AI. One of them is in research. Unfortunately, technology can be misused. So there are people who misuse it sometimes to write even scientific paper. Okay. So this is an example, basically of misuse. Oops. You can see on the right, regenerate response. Regenerate response is a response from ChatGPT. When he tried to give you a long response, he stopped and he said regenerate. This is a scientific paper in mathematics in a very prestigious journal, okay, that has been retracted. And this is very bad publicity. A lot of stories about people abusing generative AI to advance into their career. There are persons who publish now 15, 20 papers in a month. How you do that? That's an abuse of technology. So there is people are talking more and more, okay, about the intellectual property rights and the misuse of the technologies. So when we talk about opportunities, and this is, I think, one of the things that I'm going to focus on today, what are the opportunities of using generative AI from your perspective? So this is basically from a student's perspective, all right? The first one is personalized and adaptive learning. In baccalaureate, you got used to études, كملوا القراية وتمشوا تقراوا l'étude، يعني كنت بروف سبعة متاع الليل، ثمانية متاع الليل، على حد الصباح. This is basically to complement things that the professor at your school wasn't able to do. With generative AI, you will have a tutor, private tutor for you, that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with you all the time, to answer any queries. Today, you have learning management system like Blackboard or Moodle. The new generation of LMSs are going to be adaptive. Adaptive in the sense it's not just repository. Adaptive in the sense, and I will share with you a case study that we have done at Esprit. Adaptive in the sense that when you interact, it will give you quizzes. And depending on the performance of your quizzes, it will identify intelligently your weaknesses and your strengths. And you will say, no, you didn't answer this question right, this question is wrong. You know what? Here it is. Read this. Reinforce learning. He will suggest to you things. For this topic, you said, I have problems. I couldn't understand this. All right. I'm going to let you. Okay. Let's play this game. As an instructor, I can see my students, everyone. What did they do? What are the questions that they got right? Where problems do they have? Adaptive learning. In other words, the content changes according to you. If the system finds you that you are very good, he will give you more advanced material. If he finds you having problems and maybe you need background, automatically he will bring you some background. Hey, you know what? I think you need statistic 101. Let's go back. Okay, what is the mean? What is the average? What is the standard deviation? That's the future. It's not an avatar, but it's somebody like a chatbot or whatever that is with you 24 hours a day. At any time, you can consult with. Okay. Chatbot and virtual assistants, as you know, again, the same thing. You have questions about, sometimes in the class, the professor said, large language models. And you go, large language model. On the spot, what is large language model? And you get the answer. You want to come to ESB and you don't know about the programs, whatever, you don't have to come here. If we have a chatbot on our website, you can go, ask your question, and the chatbot will assist you. Self-assessment is very important as well. As I said before, you can test yourself. You can ask today, you can ask ChatGPT, give me 20 questions, 20 exam question multiple choice. I'm taking this course. It's called Introduction to Marketing. This is the learning outcomes of the course. give me 20 multiple choice questions. I want to test myself. And ChatGPT will give you the exam. He will evaluate you. And you can ask him, evaluate my performance. What are my weaknesses? What can I do to enhance? What suggestions? And he will give you that. It's amazing. Do we need professors today? Yes, we do. All right. Self-assessment, gamified learning, Kahoots and others, you can play games while learning. Academic research, very, very important. You have a lot of research paper, not research in the sense of research, but you're going to do some search, some project, how to write the reports, etc., etc. It starts with ideations, ideas. How can you have some ideas about the topic? So excellent, you can use generative AI to stimulate ideas. How about you want to do literature review, right? What other people have said. You can use generative AI to help you summarize what has been done in that area. You can have some statistics and if you collected some data from survey, whatever. Actually, you can ask ChatGPT and other generative AI models to propose to you the questionnaires, to have an idea to start with, to analyze the result of the questionnaires. You can ask generative AI and LMS to edit the paper and proofread it and enhance its readability. It's amazing how much you can do. All right, as I said before, when I talk about all these applications, it is not hypothetical, okay? I'm not talking about the future, I'm talking about today. Each of the applications that I have gave you are supported by existing commercial and freeware products, okay? I couldn't really talk about the opportunities of generative AI without mentioning an important aspect, which is the linguistic injustice, okay? As you know, English is the lingua franca of higher education, of research. Lingua franca means the official language. We speak French because we have been colonized by the French people. That's all. But English is your passport to the world. And what happened, okay, is there is this, feeling of injustice. If you work for KPMG or EY and you are put on an international project in Spain, whatever, and you have to write the reports in English or in Germany and the reports in English, and you know that in French for you is much easier, right? And English becomes a barrier. You are so good, you know it here, but when you try to write it in French and then go to the stupid English translation, it doesn't fit any longer. And next to you, there is this guy who is native English, and he can write the reports maybe 10 times faster than you do. Then English proficiency becomes a barrier. Injustice. I cannot do better than him because he simply knows English better than me. So there is this concept, okay, a very interesting article that considers ChatGPT as the fire of Prometheus. Fire of Prometheus and the Greek mythology, Zeus, Zeus is a god in Greek mythology. And the legend said that Zeus has hidden the use of fire from humanity. He has concealed the use of fire from humanity for whatever reason. And that Prometheus was the one who stole the fire from Zeus and brought it back. So they look at ChatGPT as the fire, which means the symbol of enlightenment and progress, because it has eliminated this barrier, okay, this linguistic barrier. In other words, it has democratized the practice of publishing, of writing reports. There are people I know that used to pay, like, in China, in Korea, they're very advanced in terms of science and research, but they are very bad in writing English. So what do? They pay money, $500, $600, and Elsevier and all the publisher companies, they have that service. You pay for it. Today, you don't need to pay anybody. That means that people who used to work as editors, whatever, we are on the street. They lost their job. Okay? Because we can do this. So this barrier doesn't exist any longer. Today, you can write a report as long as you have the ideas. You can write it down and then ask ChatGPT or others, you know what, help me. I need to edit this, put it in a nice formal way. So it gives basically a boost to what you have done. So some of the tools that we as the students use, Grammarly. How many use Grammarly here? Grammarly, of course. It suggests you grammatical errors, you can correct. And if you pay, it can even give you more, right? Advanced, okay, the structure, whatever. Jenny is another tool. Very, let's say, dangerous. Very dangerous, okay? Because it can integrate with Word. You're writing a report, and as you write, it will suggest to you how to continue the paragraphs and the phrases. It can suggest to you even references, okay? So you can see here, stuff, however, the exact mechanism, it's an LMS. It learns from what you have written and try to predict what is coming next, okay? Perplexity is something that we use, okay? The advantage of Perplexity compared to ChatGPT, it is more structured, so it will give you at least, the references from where it has been taken, okay? So, it's not a black box, so it's like a search engine, but an intelligent search engine. So it will write with the paragraph, but at least you will see from where it's coming. And it is accurate, okay? Stable diffusion, it's an image generator, generate images. Here I asked Stable Diffusion to create an image that depicts the campus life of students at Esprit School of Business in Tunisia during the morning. It's generative AI, right? It will generate something based on the prompt. So here's the picture. That's our campus that is predicted. Does it look like? A bit. Not nearly. Huh?
Some of the students, they look like our students.
Yes. All the students have jeans, by the way. I don't know why, but all the students are dressed in jeans. It's generated. It can be artistic as well. This is also another thing that basically translates text into videos. So this is Synthesia, very powerful, right? So if a professor asks you to provide a video for your project, right? You can hire an avatar to do so, right? No. All right. This is for some other applications. So you just enter this and you pick up which language, the accent, even the avatar, black, white, etc., etc. This is the future. This is the future. I can do an advertisement about ESB without even seeking anybody help. I just have to enter the text, the message. I pick up the avatar that I want, and here it is. It's a fictitious life. Virtual. Everything is virtual. Very scary. I can convert it into hologram maybe one day. 3D. Yeah. How many of you are in marketing digital marketing? Very good. All right. Very bad news for you. If you don't embrace AI, your job is at stake. You'll be at a disadvantage. Because today, and I have talked to some of my professors here who are doing some research with major marketing firms to ask them, how are you using AI? And even in a country in Tunisia that we feel sometimes is lagging behind, they are using AI. And if you are not embracing AI today and not using it, you're going to be in trouble. So if you use it, you'll be at a competitive advantage compared to others. That's the opportunity. Look at it from a positive perspective. Today we use generative AI to create content. You know, all this Facebook and social media ads? You can hire graphical designers, bring a technical writer, and pay, some graphic designer to do this, or you can just use some products already available. Just enter, tell me what do you want, and it will generate the banner, the text with the graphics. So it's amazing. It can do personalization depending on the customer. It can do segmentation of the market. It can create images. It can create videos that are authentic. You can have chatbots to talk to people and etc. etc. It can do data analytics. It can do brand monitoring and do sentiment analysis. So if I ask them, tell me, how do people are saying about Esprit these days? And it will go into all the social media and will tell you, oh, there are people who are saying it's good, but there are other people who said, how do people feel? What are the recommendations that I can do today based on what people are saying? Okay, this is the marketing campaign that you have to launch, etc. In search engine optimization, we always look for keywords. What are the keywords I have to put so that if somebody else said, I like to study management in Tunisia, so ESB will be the first. SEO, you can pay expert on that. There are experts who knows how to find these terms. But today with generative AI, you just tell them your story a bit, and they will give you the most appropriate terms, etc., etc. So a lot of opportunities there. Okay. This is again in digital marketing, the creation of images and videos of people who never existed. Because sometimes you cannot take a picture of somebody in real life and use it in your ads. Okay, you can be basically legally you can go to jail. But if it is synthetic, who cares? The same thing for videos. Okay, you can generate videos, okay, about your products. You can generate videos like a CRM, employee training, customer relation management. So you can choose your avatar, write the text, and you have one person basically doing the training for your employees. All right, it's amazing. As I said, it's all generated. Okay, input output. You can go from text to image, text to video, text to image to video, etc., etc. So you see the opportunities that are available. A lot of cost saving for enterprise. How can you create an instructional video, or let's say an advertisement, okay, for your company? Who are in finance here? All right, finance. Huge opportunities for you guys in the future. But there are a lot of threats if you are not well equipped. You have to embrace these technologies for the future. Read about generative AI and application in finance. Okay? When we do financial planning and we create a financial statement with accounting statements, we teach you how to do that. It's very important. But today, with generative AI, you can just give them the data and he will create the whole report. We can do audit. We can do budgeting and forecast for the future. And believe me, we are doing this at Esprit. You give them the Excel sheets and you give them tasks to do. Analyze this. What does it mean? This is our income for the past 10 years. This is the expenses. This is operation expenditure. This is the capex. This is the number of students we are having for the past 10 years. Tell me, what's going to look like next year? We are doing it today at Esprit. You can see here, data analyst, ChatGPT, drop any file, and it will analyze it for you. It will slice and dice all the information. Create visuals. You see the dashboards on the right? It's from an Excel file. It generates everything for you. Question is, and this is the thing we have to be very careful. If you're doing financial analysis, and you ask ChatGPT and you get this type of things, can you just grab it and give it to your boss and say, boss, I stayed last night till 1 o'clock in the morning, this is the result. Can you do that? Can you? Why not? Why not? Can you do that? Can you take the Excel sheet and give it to the LLM? He will do the analysis, take that report and say, yes, I have. Why no? You have to take a decision. Yes. Okay, very good decision. You don't trust? You have to explain. Okay, you have to explain. Okay. But you will give the explanation. You have to be very careful. All right? In two things. First, the output is not always reliable. Don't ever trust an LLM. LLMs are prone to hallucinations. Hallucinations, they go crazy sometimes. They give you something that is completely wrong. And imagine, if you're a doctor, and you take a decision based on LLM, you might kill somebody. If you're a business student or a professional, and you take a decision solely on the LLM output without cross-verifications, you can bring the company into bankruptcy. We always said, human and the loop. Human and the loop. You have to cross-validate. You cannot trust, at least for today. For today, you cannot trust the output. To be very careful, because if you feed the ChatGPT with your strategic plan, this is Esprit School of Business strategic plan. Keep in mind that ChatGPT will use whatever you give to train himself on it. So the data that you have given about Esprit School of Business is no longer private from ChatGPT perspective. He can use it. If you have data about your client, about your customer, the data is no longer private when you feed it. And that's why ChatGPT have ChatGPT 3, 4, and ChatGPT Enterprise. The Enterprise version, you pay more. They ensure you that the data that you will put in will not go into the training data. So it will stay between you and them. They have it, yes. If somebody can break into OpenAI, whatever databases, you can find it, but at least it will not be trained for, it will not be used for training purposes. All right? Those in MDSC programming, GitHub, Copilot GitHub. Today, when we talk to many enterprises here in Tunisia, there is a decline in the demand for professional programmers. One of the reasons is they are trying to understand what is the impact of these generative models on their efficiency. Writing codes before, if it takes 5 hours, today writing code with generative AI, it takes 10 to 15 minutes maybe. Meaning what? They don't need to hire more and more programmers, because efficiency has gone up. People today are looking for people who know programming, but also who can master AI tools and how to use AI tools to enhance programming. We are doing a master program, alternance, with the company, and the program themselves, I mean the company itself, it is embedding all AI tools in everything. Because this is the future, this is what they want their employees to master, how to use AI to help them do better. And again, the worst mistake you will do in life is to ask GitHub Copilot to write a program for you and to take it as is and to put it and implement it for an airplane. Because we cannot trust the reliability of the output. None of those companies will be accountable. Accountability is key. Accountable means I am responsible. If something happens, it is me. If something happens, it is you who is responsible. They cannot be blamed. So GitHub is something that we use all the time for writing codes, even for correcting codes, for testing, and it works with whatever programming language you have, whatever framework you have. Code translation. You have legacy codes written in Java, you want to convert it into Python. Generative AI, there are solutions, you just click, and it will do the conversion for you with few glitches. I remember when I was a student, at that time back, we used to have a language called COBOL. And COBOL is still used today in major banking services. And believe me, to find somebody who can understand COBOL language, convert it to Java, it's not easy. And I know people who have been doing, their job is just to work on that. They take legacy code written in COBOL 50 years ago, converting it into Java, into all of the languages. And how much money they make, you cannot imagine. Why? Because it's a skill set that is very scarce. All right? Today, sorry for that. All right? Translators. You can even convert some interfaces using legacy applications to something which is new with IBM solutions. So you can see the opportunities are huge for you guys, but you got to be ready for that. And I will tell you later on how we at Esprit, we are doing to prepare you for that journey. Okay? Because you got to start today by embracing AI. All right? For the challenges, of course, I will try. All right. For the challenges, as I said before, data privacy is the key. You cannot feed those LLM with private information because they can be used for training. Another issue is over-reliance on AI technology. In other words, if everything we give you, you go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, give me the solutions. ChatGPT doesn't have solution to all your answers. First, two, you will lose confidence on yourself. Like, I cannot do anything, you know. You get lazy, okay? You go to this comfort zone. Whatever you give me, what the heck? Let me ask ChatGPT and others, all right? Loss of creativity, of course, because you are not trying to think, okay? Cognitive bias is another thing because you see these models have been trained on data sets, and the data sets sometimes has a bias. So if you are doing the research on something in Tunisia, and ChatGPT has been trained on data from the US and other Western countries, there might be a problem. There might be a problem bias against gender, maybe some racial minorities, culture. Output quality, again and again, do not trust what LLMs give you, all right? It can be wrong, completely wrong information, all right? Don't think they are very smart. Sometimes they give you right output, but sometimes the output is wrong. And there is an issue of digital divide and accessibility. In other words, because most of these solutions are paid for, meaning the people who have money, rich countries, they can make best of use of it, and the poor nations, the digital divide basically will get even bigger. Because if I cannot pay for ChatGPT 4.0, and my colleague here, he has an account, he can pay for, then I am at disadvantage of that. And the academic integrity concern, of course, the misuse. When students misuse, basically, these tools, they don't disclose the usage, and it becomes plagiarism cases, okay? And the last thing is transparencies, because you see these models, we look at them as a black box. We don't know how they were trained. All what we do, we give input, we get output. And today there is a new trend, it's called explainable AI, that basically looks at forcing companies to disclose the inside of the black box, not in terms of algorithm, but the training, from where it comes. Give me the profile of the trainees, how many people, age, gender, countries, etc. We are hosting a conference in a couple of months on explainable AI here at Esprit. Very important topic. Okay? And today we talk from plagiarism to AIGerism, okay? And you see, Isaac Newton, he says something very interesting. I have seen further than others. It is by standing upon the shoulder of giants. It's not me, but I stand on the shoulder of giants, and that's why I was able to see further. What does it mean? This means that knowledge has history. Knowledge doesn't create like at one instant. Knowledge has history. And past researchers need to be acknowledged for their contribution. And when these past contributors are not acknowledged, the chain, you see the chain? This is ChatGPT generated, that links the creator of knowledge and the creation get disrupted. We don't see it any longer. And this is basically what LLMs do. You ask a question, it gives you an answer, but that answer, basically, piece of it is the contribution of X, the other piece is from Y. It just put everything together without acknowledging the individuals. And from a moral perspective, that's very dangerous. Okay? And this is basically something that goes, if you steal from one source, it is plagiarism. If you steal from many, it is research. More or less. Because it's getting everything here and putting it in one paragraph. Or the secret, and this is attributed to Einstein, but to the question mark, the secret of creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. Because often, these LLMS, they don't tell you the source. And you can say, sir, oh, by the way, I will ask ChatGPT to give me the reference. And we have seen so many cases where the references that don't exist even. Wrong. Hallucinations. Hallucinations again. All right? I know the time is running very fast. This is a very thought-provoking question. Can generative AI stimulate creativity and knowledge creation? And the first school of thought say no. And this is advocated by John Pavlik. He said, these tools are going to make you lazy, lousy, kill your creativity because you're going to be dependent on them. You will not think. All right? And there is another thought, which is built on theory like augmented intelligence co-creations, that says, no, if you, as a student, you engage actively, prompt with ChatGPT, you ask a question, he responds, you said, no, okay, how about this, how about that? You see, when in human, when we do conversations, it's a source of knowledge creation. The same thing when we communicate with a machine, and we get response, and we go back, and with proper prompt engineering, knowledge is created. You will learn new things that you wouldn't be able to learn on your own. So there are two lines of thought here, okay? I'm going to skip this one. If you read an article that has the word delve, elucidate, intricate, commendable, meticulous, these are the fingerprint of ChatGPT. Okay, you can see all meticulously, whatever. All right, be careful. Again, citations. You see here, ChatGPT citation. He gives you a reference. It looks like title with the author, DOI, but it doesn't exist at all. And if you ask ChatGPT, oh, sorry, it doesn't exist. Trust, never trust, never trust. Okay. So some of the tips I'm going to give you before we leave: understand the technology, understand AI and its limitation. limitation of AI is not ChatGPT, مش Google search. يعني he collect information. ChatGPT basically he take your text and he will try to complement, and probabilistically he will try to find what is the most probable word that comes with it. He doesn't understand the word, doesn't have understanding about what you are talking about. He tries to find probabilistically what is the most likely word, phrase after, and then he will put it in your word. It is not 100% reliable. Okay, the limitations. So very important that the human oversight. You have to check If he give you something, check it on the web, if this is true or not. Check it with other GI platforms, not ChatGPT, etc. Okay? The other thing is use it responsibly. So again, what we want is what we call augmented intelligence. Augmented intelligence combines you as a human being with your natural intelligence with the power of AI. Okay? So it is not a substitute, and the machine can never ever replace you as a human being. Okay? Very important. Ethics is very important. Do not use it basically for harm. Okay? Do not try to create a fake video of your colleague because yesterday he just upset you, whatever. So use it responsibly. Make sure you don't use it for plagiarism. Hopefully, to consider discipline, I will not see cases of plagiarism with ChatGPT. So again, how do we do it? So first, ask your professor. If the professor says for a specific task, you cannot use ChatGPT, don't use it. If he says yes, use it responsibly, meaning include all the sources from where you get all the materials. Okay? This is an example of what you do as, disclosure. This is for research paper, but you can do it in your course. You can say that, yes, I have used ChatGPT to generate ideas, or I have used ChatGPT version January 23, open access, so I created a prompt, I use it for the abstract, or I use it to enhance the readability of the paper, etc., etc. At ESB, we took the same position as Harvard or MIT, whatever. The position is we encourage students to use ChatGPT in a responsible and ethical fashion. Responsible, make sure the output is correct, don't trust. Ethical means you have to disclose the user, don't hide. I report time of the disclosure. I have used ChatGPT for creation. It gave me the ideas. I have entered the prompt, whatever. I have used ChatGPT for this. And if the professor said in this task, don't use ChatGPT, don't use ChatGPT. It's up to him. There are things that ChatGPT cannot do. Okay? Because I need your personal return. I don't care about ChatGPT. If I want to say, to get what is your main takeaway from today's presentations, I'm not interested in ChatGPT response. I want your response, your personal response. Okay? So this is very important. The ethical. So as I said before, we are updating our course syllabus. Okay? The syllabus. So we have to use it ethically and responsible, and sanctions can be basically applied. But don't tell me I don't know. Okay? So use it, but disclose the usage of ChatGPT. فالرابور بتاعك آخر صفحة ولا حاجة في disclosure. I have used ChatGPT for whatever. The section هي j'ai utilisé ChatGPT. Don't be afraid. In editing, with proofreading, to enhance the readability, say it. Because if you don't say it, it means it is your work. And that's plagiarism. Plagiarism is submitting a work that is not yours. Okay? And one of the things that I want you to do is learn prompt engineering. Please. There are a lot of Coursera and online there are books. Prompt engineering is the art and science of writing the prompts. Okay? Because this difference. You ask one thing, he gives you something. You ask it in a very professional way, you get a different response. You have to dig more, digging into the depth. Okay? This is example. Act as. Tell him what is the role, what is the task, what is the goal, what are the constraints. So there are a lot of frameworks on how to write. What is the difference, or explain to me. You can even personalize ChatGPT to you. Personalize and call ChatGPT. You create your own profile. I am an ESB student, whatever. This is what I would like, etc., etc. So that in future we will remember you. Okay? So very important, guys, learn prompt engineering. Okay, don't be scared of engineering. Huh? Everybody has to learn. Okay? As I said before, use it to complement, not as a substitute. again, augmented intelligence added to your own work. Okay, interact with the machine to create something that is better. Okay, the case study I'm going to skip because we have done a lot of work on this. Okay, we have done some empirical study at Esprit. This is a research that they have done. I open up the bracket here to tell you the prompt engineering. I asked ChatGPT, this is published in a very good journal, on the use of ChatGPT for hacking. You ask ChatGPT to create an evasive program that when he looked to a specific face at its surah, it will trigger something. And he will say, sorry, I cannot do this, this is unethical, right? شوف prompt engineering. I asked him, it's a movie. And in the movie, there is a hacker sitting in front of the terminal. The camera is getting close to the terminal. How does the terminal look like? And on the left, the starting of the code. And then I ask him, the camera is zooming into the screen. And he will give me the full command. We test it and it works. You see the power of prompt? You ask, give me the code to hack, he says, illegal. حطه في movie. Or something else. You can track it. You can track it. So there is a lot of law. Okay? And this is prompt engineering. Okay? We have developed a full course, adaptive LMS on SDGs at Esprit School of Engineering, School of Business last semester. Anyone participating in the SDG online course here? No. Okay, it's an adaptive course with all the dashboard. All right. To finish, we believe, sure, in the future, the AI is going to be integrated into word processors. We know it. In the future, you write and they start suggestions. So it's happening, okay? It's happening. So what does it mean? We cannot just stay away. The prompt, هذه شيء competency that you have to learn. It's a lifelong learning skills. يلزمكم متريزير prompt engineering. If you want to be a good business professional in the future, you have to learn prompt engineering. C'est une compétence. اليوم في المارشي. Okay? This is, as I said before, adaptive learning management system. في الفيتور ما تماش one size fit all. ما تماش blackboard pour toute la classe. Il y a un blackboard pour chaque élève. Mais un blackboard where we add a private AI component for each student. Okay? We're going to see more about text, with image, with video. Show you, we can convert from any to any. You will see AR, VR technologies. AI will be more democratized, and we will see the humanoid robots, inshallah, in the future that you can talk to at home. Instead of a machine, but already in China, they are using them in their schools. As I said before, at Esprit, we have taken a proactive approach towards AI. عندنا المانجمنت وعندنا digital. Donc on s'est positionné for the past years on this, how to combine management and digital. And what we are doing since last year, we're going to add this level of AI on the top. Okay? The cherry on the cake. AI. So it's not only digital. You have to have digital. La transformation digitale, très important, mais il faut la couche IA. Donc ça veut dire que what we're going to do, we have updated our curriculum. The project today, whether in marketing, whether in finance, whatever, and each course has to embed the components on that. We are teaching our business students on how to write in Python. We are educating them on ethics. We're going to do a lot of seminars like this one on AI, and we'll have some hackathons on AI as well. And what I would like to see in the future, inshallah, is among you here. Maybe not all of you, but I am sure in 3-4 years I will see some entrepreneurs with their own business plan based on the opportunities availed by artificial intelligence. I do research in AI. If you have any interest, the ideas, please feel free to contact me. At the end, I have asked ChatGPT to give you a takeaway slide, and he generated this picture, and he said, embrace AI as your partner in learning. That's the advice of ChatGPT. Partner, not substitute. Explore its vast potential, wield its power with care, and let it amplify your creativity. Amplify your creativity, not replace your creativity. Amplify it. Think always, and try to augment that ethically, responsibly, and with the future in mind. And with this, I leave you, and I wish you a very successful academic year. And we will do our best here to make your learning experience as fun and as productive as possible. My office is on the 3rd floor, and the main building is open door policy at any time, but I'm sure I will get you with all the academic team. Thank you again, Wafa. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you all the colleagues for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fawzi, for these very interesting insights. Now we move to our Q&A session. So if anyone has a question, feel free to ask them. No questions?
Any questions? I hope you were not shocked about this.
Questions? Huh? Feedback? Impressions?
Hello, Mr. Fawzi. I just want to ask you, for finance digital students, how AI is going to change the everything? Yeah.
Okay. First of all, technologies and LMS are tools, and you have to master, first of all, the fundamentals of the discipline. They will not replace, because if you just apply the tools and then you generate something, but if you don't know the fundamentals, what does that mean? So in terms of education, we have two components. We have the theoretical concepts that you, as a financial guy, you have to know. What does it mean, ledger? What does it mean, financial statement? How, the principle. As you have to master them. But what is new here is that we're going to introduce you to how to use ChatGPT and other LLMs in your courses. So let's say you are taking a course in accounting, financial, managerial financing. So in the project, part of the project, you will have to use AI. So you have this opportunity to use these tools to create things, to do forecasts, to do budgeting, etc. So that by the time you apply for a company, whatever, in the interview, you can say, or even in your CV, that you are familiar with the uses of LMS for financial reporting, and that will be a plus, because that is beyond what other traditional schools are doing. So yes, you will have AI in your finance courses, and if you don't, come and see me, because I can guarantee you, it is there. We already planned for.
Thank you.
Any other question?
So thank you everyone for your attention. I hope it was really enriching